Hi. It's always the weirdest feeling to say hi, welcome back to a brand new video, or welcome back to my channel. I don't know why, it just feels odd for me. In today's video, I want to say that this video is going to be crazy. I don't know if I should put an age disclaimer. If you're not 16 and older, then don't watch this video because there's gonna be some things in here that are gonna be said that you probably don't know what it is, or it might just be triggering. I have no idea how this is gonna be. But in today's video, I am going to be talking about my high school trauma. Like, isn't this a video? I want to give a shout out to my good friend Diana for requesting this video. She commented actually under my Q&A video and she was like, girl, we need the chisme, we need the drama, like, you know. And I was thinking about it and I'm like, is this gonna cause problems, issues? Like, I mean, I don't want to come off as like, oh my gosh, everything is not my fault, I'm a victim. It's like, no, I've talked back, I've tried to stand my ground, okay, and it didn't get me anywhere. This was about 4 years ago, so I'm not gonna name anybody's names. I've been really trying to give myself confidence because this is my journal. I've had my journal since 2015. Every little issue is in this book. Let's just get into this video. Just also another disclaimer, this is not to attack anybody. This is literally just what happened in my years of high school and what happened and what were said about me. So this has nothing to do with anybody who caused my pain, okay? This is just a comedic video for comedy purposes. So like this video, subscribe to my channel, let's get on with the video. So the first time I wrote in this was August 21st of 2015. And the last time I wrote in my journal was actually September 15th of 2020, so last year in September. And then I stopped writing in it because I was getting depressed and I just didn't want to keep writing my problems down in my journal. I just wanted to fix my problems and then get a new journal for a positive, because this whole thing is negative. I'm not going to show you all, I'm just going to kind of flip through. This is all, can you see? All. It is crazy. For starters, we're just going to talk about things that happened in my high school that had me shook. I think had everybody shook. A lot of people, well, I don't want to say a lot, but a good portion of people were pregnant at my school. I can't even imagine having a kid at 16 years old. No. It was interesting to find out, oh, so-and-so's pregnant, this person's pregnant, and then they have to leave, or they do online, or they go to the continuation school that I went to. Even right now, people from my high school are literally on their second kid or third kid. Look at me! I'm having a mental breakdown. I'm still a baby, okay? I'm still figuring out how things work in this world. From the looks of everybody who's had a kid or is having a kid, they seem really happy. I don't know if you really are. I don't know, just in high school, just hearing about someone already gonna start a family, like, it's just so crazy to me. But anyways, if you do have a baby from my high school, I hope that your babies are well and they're healthy and that you guys are living your best life with your little family. Next is, we can talk about fights in the school. I remember specifically seeing my very first fight, but that was in middle school. I know. I was getting out of class, I was getting out of school was over, and I was waiting for my cousin because me and her would walk to my aunt's house because it was down the street. Again, I'm not gonna name names, who got in a fight, I'm just explaining what's going on. So walking out of school because it was over, and some people from the high school was coming to the middle school, and then they just started going at it. They literally, like, no hesitation, started going at it. Everyone was recording. They're like, fight. I'm over here like, because I knew the girl that was getting in a fight, so I was just scared for her because she was my friend, so I was scared for her. And then, you know, me and my cousin walked away and we were just scared the whole time. Like, I'd never seen a fight before in person, and I'm just like, for what? How are you gonna come from high school? You're like 16, 17, coming to beat up a bunch of what? 13-year-olds? It was a scary time. There was one time where I did witness a fight and I was like, oh snap, oh snap. Like, I don't know. I didn't know how to prepare myself. I was getting out of choir and I guess some girls in the choir had some beef. I never really had beef with anyone in choir. I really loved choir. I loved all the girls in it. I got along with everybody great. I guess 2 of them didn't, and I didn't even know this. And one of them was my best friend at the time. Well, she still is my friend, but at the time, we would talk all the time. I don't know, I forgot who threw the first punch, but one of them just like, bah, as soon as we got out of the classroom, and then they got their books and they were just like this, grabbing the hair, just everything. I'm just like, dude, what the freak, man? We were just in choir singing about how much we love choir. We were harmonizing. And then you get out and it's just like, again, that was a scary situation. I'm scared of fights, honestly. I've never been in a fight. I've always avoided them. This is gonna get into my next issue. But yeah, so that happened with that. So that was scary. And then with me, there were 2 occasions where 2 girls came up to me during lunch in my face. At the time, I didn't know what it meant. You know, she just came up to me in my face and she was like, I heard you were talking. And I was like, I don't know where you heard that from, but if I would have said it to somebody, I would have said it to your face. Anyways, she wanted to fight me. I was eating lunch by my locker like a loser. I was eating my goldfish. I was minding my biz. She comes up to me. She's like, let's go. I want to fight. I'll beat your, all these, I forgot what other stuff she said, but there was a lot of stuff that went on. And I'm standing here like, no, I ain't trying to get suspended. Okay, I don't need that on my record. I'm a good person. You know, fighting isn't gonna solve all the world's problems. I was just like, you know what? We can talk about it. We can sit. I don't give a crap. I don't care what it is or when you want to talk, but I will sit here and listen to what you have to say. I will. And we ended up not getting in. She just left. So I was like, and then we ended up talking, I think senior year. She ended up apologizing to me and stuff. And I was like, it's cool, you know, like, just, you don't believe what everybody tells you because half of it is not true. So whoever told this chick stuff that I was saying was a liar. And I don't even know who it was. Another girl that came at me, not wanting to fight, but was just got in my face and was calling me out, was a girl on my softball team. I forgot what it was about, but again, I was like, we can talk about it on the field. We can talk about it later. I don't know why you're interrupting my lunch. This is my freedom to get away from all of you. Now you're here stirring the pot with more drama that is not necessary. That was the only times anybody's ever came up to my face, literally, and y'all breath stank. Next, I believe, is the portion of softball. This is where things get icky for me. So a lot of people, I don't know if anybody knows this from my high school, there was a lot of stuff that went behind the scenes on my softball team. I don't remember my attitude or my personality in high school. I literally don't know. I just know that I've grown from high school. Everybody grows from high school, or so I hope. But in high school, you know, I was a kid. I was a baby. I make mistakes. We learn from them. We move on. In my case, not in high school. My freshman year of high school, I was so excited to try out for the softball team because I have been playing softball for my whole entire life. I played when I was 6 years old, t-ball. I've played so many, I can't even remember the team names, but I've played so many. I've played so many just regular league softball, and then I've also played all-stars, and then I did travel ball for a couple of years. Travel ball is a more competitive way of softball, and you get to travel to different, you know, places, Vegas, you could travel to New York. It's really fun. but it is crazy practices, let me tell you. Body was drained. So I was working up to high school and I was thinking like, I'm gonna be playing for 4 years, I'm gonna get a scholarship, I'm gonna be the best. Well, I thought wrong. I was so excited and nervous to try out. So I tried out. I forgot how I did. I think I did decent. Coach was talking to me and everything, and he was like, well, Brittany, you know, JV doesn't have a pitcher, so we're gonna put you on JV for now. But when varsity goes and plays like I guess the harder teams or whatever, we're gonna need you to come with us to play on varsity if we need an extra pitcher. That made me feel special, that I'm like on JV and then partially varsity. Like, that made me feel, it felt nice. So JV was great. I had the best time on JV. I had the best coach. She was super, super cool. At the same time, she was crazy. I had the best girl coach. JV, like I said, was fun. All the girls were great. No issues with the JV girls at all. Varsity, however, I don't think they liked the idea that a girl who's a freshman, who's on JV, is going to play with varsity. I never felt welcomed at all for varsity. I always felt like, what is it, the black sheep? I just kind of sat there by myself. I had anxiety. I was thinking, when the coach would take out the main pitcher for varsity and put me in, I was thinking like, I'm terrified. Like, I don't want these girls to judge me. I don't want them, if I walk a girl or two, I don't want them to be like, oh my gosh, she sucks. Like, why did he bring her here? Like, you know, they expect you to be perfect pitchers, but it's like, I'm sorry, there is no perfect pitcher, okay? You literally, I don't know what goes up their butts to think that I'm just supposed to be throwing strikes all the time. Yeah, I never got the feeling that I was welcomed in varsity. I always felt like they were talking behind my back. They were always laughing at me if I would make a mistake, or they would just give me dirty looks all the time, and I'm like, I'm here to do my part. If you have an issue with me being here on varsity, you can talk to the coach. I don't know why you're treating me any different. Everyone has their jealousy moments. Everybody just wants to be better than everybody else, when it's like, we're playing for the same dang school. We're playing for the same team. Why can't we just work together and then just not talk to each other anymore after the game is over? Anyways, freshman year, I ended up not making grades for school. Softball. I didn't make grades because obviously it's my freshman year. It's my first time getting the hang of high school. It's normal. It is normal. Normalize not making grades. I think that was it for freshman year. I can't remember anything else that might have went. I'm sure there were so many things that went on, but nothing that's coming to my head right now. My sophomore year, so again with softball, I didn't have to try out because they already knew how I was, so they automatically put me on varsity because they needed a pitcher, and that pitcher had already graduated from my freshman year, so they needed me. There were other girls trying out and everything. I literally talk to all the girls that try out because it's so exciting to watch tryouts. Like, I just get such like a thrill watching tryouts, or being out there on the field, just watching the girls and giving them feedback. Like, if they have questions, like, they look up to varsity as if we're freaking queens and JV's just a shrub, when it's like, no, we're literally in the same boat. Just because we've played longer, you know, you could go to varsity whenever you want. Some girls would ask me for advice, like some of the pitchers, like, oh, how did you learn how to throw this? And I would feel so like excited to give them advice because I'm like, I feel like a celebrity. I don't know. And then at the other girls, of course, when you're on varsity, you think you're all that. You think you're just this big, huge freaking athlete. When it's like, do you know what school you're playing for? This is a ghetto freaking school. I would talk to all the girls. I loved it. I miss all the JV girls because they were cooler than the varsity girls, let me tell you. So, sophomore year, I didn't make grades again. I didn't. School is freaking hard. Like, I know so many people that are like,
well, if you just would have done the work, it would have been so easy. If you would have asked questions, it would have been easier.
Bro, no. High school is hard. It is hard when you are dealing with softball, when you're dealing with a boyfriend, when you're dealing with your own personal issues, and plus homework. Everyone thinks high school is this big, huge, just happiness and great learning experience. No, it's not. I forgot what I had. I forgot what my grades were. Well, obviously if I didn't make them, they were Fs. So then it comes to my junior year. My coach and the girls, you know, treat me a little differently because they can't trust me. I understand. I understand if you think, oh, she's not gonna make grades. Why are we even talking to her? Why are we even letting her pitch? But the thing is that made me think nowadays, that made me mad, was they just weren't supportive. I felt like I was just being used to be the pitcher. Other than that, it's like, you're trash. We don't want to talk to you. We only need you to pitch so we can win games. Other than that, we don't like you. We don't need you. We hate you. It just was such a negative feeling every single time. And, you know, of course, the girls laugh at you and talk again behind your back. I got a couple, not threats, but I got some text messages from girls from the team calling me the B word. I don't cuss, so they called me the B word. They called me the C word. Just all of the above, all names that you can name. And it just like tore me up. I was like, I'm struggling with school as it is, and just adding girls from my team calling me names and calling me stupid and all these things just really destroyed me my junior year. Junior year was like the worst for me. I had anxiety going into school every single day. I wouldn't eat in the morning. My eating disorder started to get a lot bigger. I would lie when my dad would take me to school in the morning. I had waffles. I would always eat waffles in the morning, and I would throw them away as soon as I got to school because I couldn't eat. I would ditch my first period all the time because he scared me. I would hang out in the bathroom and just wait till the bell rang and then just went to second period. In the beginning, for softball for me was so exciting, and then the more I got into it, the less I was just caring about it. I was really exhausted, and just physically and mentally. I forgot to tell you, we're gonna call out a specific teacher because I don't think he should be having his job right now. There was a point where I'm not gonna say names. I'm not gonna say what class it was. We were in a class. You know, he was a douche most of the time. He knew basically half the softball girls, which is creepy. He was very close to them. He would call me out in class, and if I didn't know the answer, you know, we would be sitting there for hours. If I don't raise my hand, that doesn't mean pick on me. You're just doing that to embarrass me, bro. There was a time where he made me wait after class, and I was scared because I think we had lunch that time, and I'm freaking I'm always hungry, dude. Like, I need to eat. I need to fuel up for practice. He says, Brittany, I need you to, you know, wait here because I'm gonna talk to you. So my cousins are waiting for me outside, and they want to come in, and he was like, no, you guys have to wait outside. So I'm sitting here freaking the freak out. The song by Victoria Justice. He's telling me, why do you have a D in this class? I'm just like, obviously I don't understand because you're literally calling me out every day. You're making me not want to try. I just told him, I was like, I don't understand it. I'm too scared to ask you questions because you're always calling me out. And he was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Just let you sit there? Half the students in this class were like the popular kids. It's embarrassing enough to be in a class with all these douchebags. So if I'm gonna ask a question, I'm gonna feel stupid. I told him, I'm like, you know, if I felt more comfortable in this class, you know, I would raise my hand. I would ask to stay after school to ask for help. He ended up making a softball reference that hit me hard. I forgot what it was, but he cussed at me. I start crying, and I left the class crying. And people saw that I was crying. So people kind of had questions like, what did he say to her? Like, what? It was a little weird. Imagine you're just at lunch and you're just hanging out by the classrooms and you see some girl, some innocent girl crying when she leaves the class. Like, you would think something didn't happen. So I guess some people told the office that they saw me coming out crying. They told the teacher something. So he calls me out again. He had the audacity to call me out again. He was like, Brittany, I'm gonna need you to wait here after. Oh my God, when I heard that, and at the time, as a 16-year-old girl, you know, I felt like when an adult tells you to do something or to stay, you have to listen to them. If I would have walked out of that room and been like, nope, I would feel scared. I would feel like he would chase me or freaking call the principal and I would have to go to the principal's. Like, I was terrified. I stayed after class again and he was like, why did you cry when you left my classroom the other day? Now the teachers think that I said something to you and stuff. And I didn't say anything because I was scared. This big freaking man is yelling at me for crying. So I didn't say anything and I walked out crying again. So then I was at practice. He goes to the practice. He's walking to the practice and I see him and I'm pitching and I'm thinking, what is he gonna say now? Oh, he goes to my coach. He knows all the girls. He's like, hey, you know, and I just look at him, give him a look and just start pitching. He tells my coach that I'm failing his class. My coach calls me over. He's like, Brittany. So my heart drops because I was just done with this freaking teacher, literally. So I go, I'm shaking right now just talking about this. I go and he says, the teacher's like, ask her how she's doing in my class. So I was like, I'm having a hard time. And my coach is like, well, maybe you shouldn't be out here practicing with us and maybe you should be tutoring and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'll tutor or whatever. I'll tutor to try to get it up. And he was like, yeah, because, you know, if you don't get this up, you know, if he fails you, then that's it. So my freaking softball career is in the hands of this douche. Literally. I passed his class, dude. Shoot, should I say this? I don't care. I don't care. I feel like I have so many regrets. I'm just gonna let it all out. In that class, I had a really good friend of mine who sat behind me and she was in the same position as me. We were both scared of this dude. She was having trouble in class just like me. So we were on our little Chromebooks, right? And he calls the girl behind me to answer the question and she's like, I don't know. I was like, no, don't say that. I was like, I already been through this. Like, I don't want her to go through this. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, the answer's on the screen. Like, I'm literally turning like this, like, it's right there. She just looks at me like, I'm like, okay. So we're here. And he's like, so-and-so, what's the answer? Were you not paying attention? Literally calling her out in front of the whole entire class. Everyone's looking at her. I'm like, why are you guys looking at her? I'm thinking, that's the last thing that we want. If we're being attacked by a teacher, you're none of your get. Like, I was scared for her. He says, I remember this specifically. He says, all right, everyone, put your Chromebooks away except for this one because we're gonna be here all day until she gives us an answer. So we all put our Chromebooks away and I'm sitting here like, I knew the answer because it was on the Chromebook, but she was having an anxiety attack. So I know how it feels to just not be able to say something because you're just, you know. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, I really want to tell her the answer. Like, I just want to do it for her, but I don't want to get in trouble. So she gets up and leaves and she goes to the bathroom. And, you know, everyone's just sitting here like awkward. Then, you know, he's talking or whatever. And I told him in the middle of class, because I'd already finished whatever we were doing. I asked him in the middle of the class, I was like, can I go check on her? Because I just texted her and she says she's crying and she's having an anxiety attack. And he's like, go check on her. Like, he doesn't even care. Like, he was just like, yeah, go check on her, make sure she's okay. Like, so I went to the bathroom, she's crying hysterically, she's freaking out, and I'm like trying to comfort her. I brought her back, I brought everything. I tried to comfort her and everything, and she had to go back to class. So I went with her back. I guess he talked to her after class. I don't know what happened after that, but I'm not the only victim. But yeah, dude, that was like a whole situation. Anyways, didn't have to deal with that stupid teacher anymore. So softball again. And my coach is like, hey, Brittany, I gotta talk to you. I'm like, okay. He's like, since, you know, we can't really rely on you to take over the team, we're gonna put you back on JV and you're just gonna have to work your way up.
I remember thinking, I'm about to beat this bitch up.
When I heard that, I was like, excuse me? You're gonna put me back on JV? I couldn't complain, couldn't say anything. I went home crying. I was embarrassed. I literally have been playing softball my whole entire life. And it's like I'm being dragged down. Like, I get it, I didn't make grades, but it's like I just felt so alone in this time. I just felt like anything that I did was wrong. Everything I would say, I guess, was wrong. I never asked for help in school because the teachers made me feel so dumb asking questions. Like, if they're saying, okay, does anybody have questions? And I ask the question that she just went over or he just went over, they're just like, I just said that. I'm like, okay, well then say it again, because obviously I didn't understand you the first time. Every time I would go for help, they just made me feel stupid. So that's why I didn't go for help. I was back on JV. The coaches were whatever, they were teachers, so they were whatever to me. I didn't really care about them. And you know, they were like, you don't have to try out because we already know how you are. So if you can just help out with tryouts, I was like, all right. And then the first game that varsity was about to play, they call me. So I was just practicing with JV, but when they need me for a game, they call me to go play. Okay. And then they were overplaying me. We have this tournament, the MLK tournament, Martin Luther King Jr. tournament, and we would go travel to different places to play different teams because our season didn't start yet. Me being the only freaking pitcher at this time, pressure was on me. Pressure was on this guy. There was a time where I literally played 3 games in a row. And that is the number one thing you cannot do to a pitcher. You cannot overplay her. Our arms are so delicate. I mean, it feels nice to play, don't get me wrong, but for just that reason, and then when we go to school, you just don't talk to me in the hallways, or you don't even look at me, or you don't even say hi, good job yesterday. Literally, any girl on varsity who wasn't the popular girls, if you would strike out, they wouldn't even high-five you. They wouldn't be like, oh, it's okay, like you'll get it next time, that's all right. Nothing. Just that look of disappointment, like you struck out. Because I'm supposed to hit every single ball that when I go out there, I'm just that perfect.
See you in hell, big boy. Woo! Fucking served that one up, didn't you, Chucky, you stupid fucking idiot?
But when the popular girls strike out, oh my God, it's okay. When I would walk, I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect pitcher. Is my eyelash coming off? Anyways, if I would walk a few girls, maybe I wasn't doing my best. Maybe I didn't have a good game. Every pitcher doesn't have a good game. So let's say this was the game that I just sucked. Every single time we run into the dugout, you know, they're supposed to high-five you. We all high-five each other. No one high-fives me when I'm walking the girls. Nobody. But when I have a no-hitter, which means, it actually means what it means. Like if I'm pitching and no one hits off me, it's called a no-hitter. So if I do that, oh my God, good job, Brady, good job, Brady, good job. Where's your support when I need it the most, though? So my junior year, I didn't make grades again. You know, I was getting yelled at by my dad. I was disappointing family. I was disappointing myself. I was disappointing my boyfriend at the time. There was a point, I don't know if I want to say this, but I mean, if I'm going to be open about every little thing, I might as well be open. I'm okay to talk about it because I've grown from this feeling. There was a point where I just didn't want to be here anymore. I really had dark thoughts at this point in time for me. My boyfriend ended up dumping me because I didn't make grades, and he said that I was going to ruin his reputation. Can you believe that? My dumb butt, though, was like, oh my God, I can't live without you. We ended up getting back together. So I was just ready to end it all. And then in those moments where I really wanted to and I was going to try, I thought to myself, if I were to leave this planet because of people attacking me verbally, like I couldn't even imagine, I don't want to cry, but like I can't even imagine how hard it would feel on my family and my siblings that so I didn't do it because I was like, I'm trying to set an example for my siblings and my cousins, and I didn't. I realized that I just need to start off fresh and I need to just let everything go at this point. I like flipped the switch in my mind, and there was one day, I'll say this right now because I am an angel. One day I went to school. I actually went to my first period class. Luckily I passed that class. So I'm going to my second period and I have an anxiety attack in my second period class. I literally got up and left. I went to the bathroom. Some chick, I didn't even know who this chick was. She's like, are you pregnant? They're like one of the Cheeto girls or like the Taki girls. Like, are you pregnant? And I'm like, I don't even know you. And then I called my cousins and I was like, hey, can you guys go to the bathroom? I'm freaking out. And they were like, well, you know what you have to do. I've already known that I had to do this for a really long time. I was just scared to, because I feel like, when you're in a relationship with somebody for a really long time, well, a year is not a long time, but in that time I was a baby. That was my first ever long relationship. When, you feel like you can't live without this person, you have that mindset. So I try to take myself out of it and thinking, I can't live without this douche. I can. So this is in no way to offend him, but the way that I broke up with him was the highlight of my junior year. I was looking for him. He didn't talk to me for a week, right? Because we were arguing about some stupid thing. He was in his classroom. So what the thing is for baseball boys is they would go into their baseball coach's class and eat lunch in there. So I asked one of his friends, I was like, hey, have you seen, and they were like, oh yeah, he's in Mr. Da-da-da's class. So me and my cousins go. All of the boys are in this class. I walk in front of everyone and I told them, we're done. We're done! Everyone's like, wow. His teacher's face was like, I walked out. That was it. What an epic way. That felt so good. Honestly, like I felt like a god as a woman. That was my junior year. I can't remember anything else that went on. Now my senior year, we've already talked about this in my Q&A. My senior year, I ended up going to a continuation school because I needed extra credits to graduate from my school. So I went to this continuation school. I was really nervous because again, you're starting off fresh, you're meeting these new people, but at the same time, it did feel good because I felt like I needed that. So I go to this school, I have all A's, I'm on principal's honor roll, I'm student of the month. Like, I was living life because I didn't feel like this at my other high school. So, it felt nice to feel appreciated for once. After that, I went back to my regular school. I went back on the softball team, and for the first time in forever, I made grades my senior year. Can we get some applause? Can we get some applause? I had to work my butt off to get to that spot. I had to leave a school that I've been at for 3 years. I had to go to a new school. I had to, literally, if I didn't pass this, then I wouldn't have graduated high school. My senior year was the best out of all of them. Because number one, I just felt like a brand new person. I had new friends. Literally, there was friends from my continuation school that went to my high school. So coming back, I had some classes with them and it just made me feel like safe, comfortable, because they were in the same position as me. All the softball girls seemed to like me all of a sudden because I made grades. Now let me tell you something that I noticed about this. When I didn't make grades the 3 years, I wasn't allowed to be on the field. I wasn't allowed to go in the dugout when there were games. I wasn't allowed. But my senior year, right, I made grades. A girl on the team didn't make grades, and she was one of the popular ones. But she was allowed to be in the dugout. Isn't that weird? Or am I just tripping? She was allowed to help us at the practices. I wasn't allowed to step foot on the field. Let me let that sink in. Again, the girls seemed to like me, or I don't know if they were just faking it. They probably were faking it. So I had my choir, which was amazing. I love choir. They're all so great. All the girls there are so great. I miss choir. I literally miss choir. I don't sing. I suck at singing, to be honest. But choir just was so special to me. It had a special place in my heart. Yeah, so we have banquets and everything. So we have a banquet for softball and we have a banquet for choir. So choir, I have a medal, I have a little trophy, and I have a plaque. I felt so appreciated because during my senior year of my choir banquet, I didn't know I was getting this award at all. I just knew I was getting a plaque because I'd been there for 4 years. So our choir teacher was like, so this next award is for the students who really put in the time and the effort into choir and helped us. And I heard my name and I was like, that was like the icing on top of the cake for me. Then, like I said in my other videos, we had prom. Prom again was perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better prom. I had freaking huge heels, but I'm not stupid. I brought my Converse. I literally wore them the rest of the night. I literally wore my heels for the pictures, took them off, put my Converse on, and I was lit. Then there was grad night. I talked about grad night. People were gonna get pregnant that night. Shoot, I almost thought I was. I'm just kidding, no. But yeah, grad night was stupid, what a waste of my money. And then graduation. My grandparents from Oregon flew in all the way to see me, and I had my best friend in the whole entire world there. Like, my grandparents flew here from Boston for my graduation, and I just was crying my eyeballs out just because I was so scared at one point that I wasn't gonna graduate high school. I didn't think I was gonna be here anymore. It's crazy to think that if you separate yourself from the negative people and you focus on yourself and really push what you want, that you'll get it. And I got it. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I missed too, but they weren't that big. Like, there were times where boys, would ask me for nudes. I would send them a nude nail polish and be like, here's your nudes. I almost forgot to say this, at one point, because you have locker rooms, in your PE locker rooms, and for softball, we had to put our clothes in there and stuff. Someone broke into my locker. Literally, someone broke into my locker and put all of my clothes in a sink, and the water was running. Everyone was saying, oh, it must have been the other girls that came from the other school and stuff, or whatever. But when I saw that my locker was completely open and my stuff was gone, I freaked out. I didn't know what to think. I was crying. I felt just like the crappiest person in the world. When I found my stuff in the sink, like, who does that? Who goes out of their way to break into someone's locker to take their stuff and to throw it in a sink? I totally forgot to say that, but that happened. Can't even think. There was like a big issue with some girl who was like underage and this guy or something, and something happened. I forgot what it was. A lot of stuff went on in high school. For me personally, it sucked. It really did, the first couple of years. But now that I've grown and I've seen things, did I sound country? If if you stayed, this is a freaking long video, but if you stayed and watched this whole entire video, thank you. I hope you had a snack with you, some popcorn, I don't know. I can honestly tell you that I am feeling so much better now. I've realized that I just need to compliment myself every single day. I need to let myself know that I'm enough. I am worthy. I am not perfect, or I'm not aiming to be perfect, but I am aiming to be a better person. I'm learning to love myself. I want to say thank you again to the people who are still here by my side to ask me how I'm doing, how, you know, is my mental health, reminding me that they love me. Like, it literally, I feel like I want to cry, literally makes my whole entire day. One text, one little text to ask, how are you? Like, I'm here for you. Just the feeling that someone is there for you, that means the whole entire world. I've also realized that I want to stay single for the rest of my life. I really did think about this. You know, when you're single, you can do whatever you want. You, your own person, can make yourself happy. In the end, really, you only have yourself. I've kind of, at least in this moment, I don't know, until I meet somebody who might change my mind other than that, but probably not, because all the boys my age are the same. I'm the type of person, I need someone to freaking give me a Disney relationship. I need someone to go all out. We want these from our guys. They don't do that stuff. Those guys are romantic. I haven't met any that are romantic. Shoot, I need someone to give me some lanterns from Rapunzel, you know, Tangled. I need to go on a boat and we need to shoot up some lanterns. That's what I want to do. If anyone wants to ask me out on a date, that is a date idea. I'm just kidding. No, boys scare me. They do. They honestly do. You don't know their intentions. You really don't know a person anymore. I literally can't trust anybody anymore. I've been so run over. I can't even explain. I open up to so many people just for them to use it against me, or just for them to just leave, really. So now I'm at this point where I'm just like,
no friends, no new friends, no, no, no.
So, I don't know. I just feel like I'm a free woman. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Again, this video is not meant to attack any students. Well, we're all adults now, so it doesn't really matter. But this isn't trying to attack anybody personally, because I could care less about any of these people now. Like, you're trash to me. I don't even remember you. I don't care about you. I hope your life is doing well, but I don't care. This is just saying what happened to me, and then I guess just high school in general. My school's ghetto as crap. So, you know if you know. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I am not excited to edit this video. This video is gonna be freaking heck to edit because it's so long. Okay, I'm gonna go, so bye.